Summer Sprouts. We are going to produce an entertainment at the Hotel Pontiac in Oswego. Private Pierre Loving is making the arrangements for it. The society architect is also busy with it. Tickets will be sold. The beau monde of Oswego will be there, and the officers and their wives. There will be dancing after the theater. The entertainment itself consists of two parts. The first is a play, A Night at the Inn, by Lord Dunnasey, followed by Fawn's Rout. I am to appear in this as Fawn. It is a pantomime. Luckily, I have little to do. I am painted dark brown all over and come out from behind a tree. Then I dance a short while, and during most of the action I sit on the side of the stage and play on my reeds. Beardsley laughs, and I am not very happy at the whole business, particularly not since one of our soldiers has told me that I have a lovely body. He wants to help me paint it. I will ask Evelyn to this party. She can bring her mother, watch the show, and afterwards we will dance. I have known Evelyn for a month. She goes to normal school in Oswego. I met her at a church party. On Sundays she comes out to the fort, and we walk around and sit on the lawn above the fortress, under the flag, in the shelter of a rock. The wind here is so strong that the flag up on the pole continually makes a fluttering noise, almost like a small motorboat. We look out over the lake. One time I asked her to come earlier than usual, and when she did not appear, I asked some of the men if they had not seen her. She has lovely white skin, red hair, and freckles, which in Germany we call summer sprouts. So I asked the men if they had seen the girl with summer sprouts. Since then, they call her Summer Sprouts. I have asked them not to, but they say it loud in the city. "Hello, Summer Sprouts!" She does not like this at all, but I can do nothing about it. She is very proper, and when I try to put my arm around her soft body, she wiggles loose, holds my hand, and says, "Look at the lake." Some days in the evening, when I am not going anywhere with Beardsley, I come to her house, and the family are very nice. They even leave us alone on the porch, but she only straightens out her dress and says, "Please don't." But they have my picture in an album on the table, and under it is written, "Our Soldier Boy." After she says don't, she arranges her hair and closes her mouth in a thin line with the lips almost swallowed. Her eyes are straight ahead, as if she saw something, and she sits up stiff and straight. Beardsley tells me to ignore the don't. He says it is part of a nice girl's routine. But when I ignored it, she slapped me harder than the game would seem to call for and called me a cad. Beardsley tells me that a cad is not very bad. To ignore the cad also, but I have had enough, and we leave it as it is and just sit quietly. Evelyn loves to go with me to the New York Candy Kitchen, the most elegant ice cream parlor in Oswego, where all the other girls she knows go with their fellows. None of them are soldiers. We always sit close to them, and Evelyn converses in French with me, loud enough so they can hear it. When we walk out, everybody is quiet and looks at us, and at the door she turns and says something like, "Ah, chaise dommage." She loves this word and uses it continually without need. Outside, she speaks English again. On the night of the entertainment, I came down early and looked for her. She sat in the second row with her mother to the left of her. I could see them through the opening between curtain and stage. Evelyn had on a lovely white dress and many layers of gauze, and out of her dress shone her red hair, her green eyes, and the lovely lines of her neck and shoulders. The play earned great applause. For Fawn's Rout, I put on the brown paint and wear a thin strap around my middle with artificial leaves pinned on it. When I finished dancing and sat down, I saw that a soldier, who is not my friend, was sitting next to Summer Sprouts, very close to her. Also, he talked to her behind the program. This man is related to some political boss in Pennsylvania, and has gotten away with much already. Also, he has a room in Oswego and a car. I am afraid my evening will be ruined if I do not get out there very quickly. After the curtain went down, I ran to the dressing rooms that are below the stage, and, because I was in a great hurry, I cleaned only my face and my hands to the wrist bones. The rest I left brown, and over it I put my shirt and uniform, and then ran up. Evelyn sat with the soldier, but he got up and said a few nice words to me, to which I had no answer, because I was too mad. He left to dance with another girl, also beautiful. It became a lovely evening. The little colonel was there, and he was very pleasant. He did not make a speech. We had supper and punch that somebody had donated. The dancing started, and there was in this room a happiness that should always be but seldom is at such assemblies. Among the dances was one called John Paul Jones, and others where the ladies ran across the floor and chose their partners. Evelyn ran to me, I ran to her when this game was played the other way, and we danced more and faster and held each other tightly. Her cheeks were red with excitement, and the little hairs on the nape of her neck were lovelier than anything I have ever seen. Also her ears. I looked at all this closely while we danced. The orchestra played very fast pieces, and it got very warm. We danced every dance. I had forgotten completely about my paint, and I think that this paint was not very good. With the heat and sweating, it began to come off. It ran down my wet body to the elbows, to the wrists, and into the palms of the hand, from there to the fingers, and dripped down on the new white dress of my Evelyn. I had marked the white satin bodice of the dress with black fingers and palms all over. I think I could have kissed her often that night, but her mother told her about the dress. The soldiers stopped and laughed and said, "Look at Summer Sprouts," and that was the end. She went home. That's the end of Summer Sprouts.